stop everything you're doing right now. Your house is under 24/7 CCTV surveillance. Someone discovered that you possess something extremely precious, and they're watching your every move. This isn't random paranoia, this is a targeted operation focused on you and what you have. Through hidden cameras, they track your daily patterns. This isn't just casual observation, this is advanced surveillance designed to locate and take the precious item you didn't even realize was so valuable. Your home has been compromised without your knowledge. The strange noises at night, unexpected power fluctuations, and feeling of being watched, all connect to this surveillance operation targeting your precious possession. These watchers have monitored your house since they discovered what you possess. Everything about your daily routine has been recorded and analyzed to determine the best moment to make their move. This surveillance isn't temporary, it's an ongoing operation that won't stop until they get what they want. This hidden monitoring explains those unexplained feelings you've had lately. The prickling sensation on the back of your neck. The strange impression that objects in your home moved slightly. The unusual cars parked on your street. These weren't just coincidences, there were signs of the surveillance network closing in around you. Your precious possession attracted their attention the moment it came into your life. Now their advanced technology tracks your movements, listens to your conversations, and studies your habits to identify patterns and vulnerabilities they can exploit. This surveillance operation involves serious resources and determination. The organizations watching you have unlimited patience and cutting-edge technology that most people don't even know exists. The most dangerous period begins now. Their monitoring has gathered enough data, and they're preparing to move from observation to action. Earlier intervention would have been impossible. Later warning would leave you defenseless against what's coming. Those who recognize this threat feel it in their environment, subtle signs of intrusion that most would dismiss but you can no longer ignore. Quick, press the like button right now to activate your digital protection shield. This simple action scrambles their surveillance algorithms and buys you precious time to secure what's yours. Secret allies are monitoring this channel right now, waiting for your signal. They've been working to counter this surveillance operation, knowing this moment would come when you'd need to be warned about the watchers targeting your precious item. Type "I secure my treasure" if you're ready to learn how to protect what they're after, something far more valuable than you've realized until now. The moment you type these words, counter-surveillance measures begin working in your favor. This is the most critical security alert you'll ever receive. Your precious possession holds power that others desperately want to control. But you must act now. This brief window of opportunity to protect yourself won't stay open long. Hidden surveillance leaves traces. The signs have always been there, subtle clues pointing to the monitoring operation targeting your home. Think about those moments when electronic devices behaved strangely. The phone calls with unusual background noise. The laptop webcam light that flickered unexpectedly. The Wi-Fi that slowed or disconnected at the same time each day. These weren't random glitches, they were technical fingerprints of surveillance equipment tapping into your systems. Type "I see the signs" as your awareness expands. The surveillance operation leaves specific markers that have appeared around your property. Each coincidence or unexplained technical issue connects to their monitoring network. Through insider knowledge, patterns emerge clearly. Perhaps you've noticed unknown vehicles parked with a view of your home. Maybe unfamiliar repair or delivery people appeared without proper identification. Possibly your mail showed signs of tampering. These weren't random occurrences, they were field operatives maintaining the surveillance network. Your daily activities generated more data than you realized. They tracked which rooms you spend most time in, when you typically leave home, where you likely store valuables. Every habit provided information about where to find your precious item. Special understanding reveals deeper surveillance layers. Those moments when you felt watched while alone, when you sensed movement in peripheral vision, when household pets stared intently at empty corners. These weren't imagination, they were your natural instincts detecting surveillance presence. Advanced monitoring operates constantly. The watchers never sleep, using shifts and automated systems to maintain unbroken observation of your precious possession. The surveillance reveals critical truth now. What you possess isn't merely valuable, it's powerful beyond ordinary understanding. The watchers know exactly what it can do. Your precious item contains capabilities they desperately seek. Perhaps energy manipulation that defies current science. Maybe information access that bypasses normal security. Possibly influence potential that transforms perception. Whatever its specific power, your possession represents technology or knowledge they believe should be under their exclusive control. Type I understand its value as secret knowledge explains your item's true worth. Each unusual feature or unexplained property connects to capabilities far beyond what you initially recognized. Through classified information, your possession's significance becomes clear. Those who monitor you belong to organizations obsessed with collecting and controlling such items. Their surveillance represents enormous investment justified only by the extraordinary value of what you have. Expert analysis explains why they haven't simply taken it. Some precious items bond with their keepers. Others require specific handling to maintain their properties. Many activate defense mechanisms when threatened. Your possession carries protections they're still trying to understand through observation. Advanced understanding reveals your item's place in a larger collection. The watchers have gathered similar objects for decades, studying their properties and combining their effects to achieve greater power. Your possession represents a missing piece in their carefully assembled puzzle. Beyond monetary value, your item's true worth lies in its applications. The watchers envision military uses, market advantages, or influence operations that would be possible if they controlled what you possess. Their surveillance tracks a prize worth billions to the right buyers. Secret information reveals the watcher's true identity. Multiple groups coordinate this surveillance operation, each with distinct resources and motives but united in their determination to acquire your precious possession. Insider knowledge shows government involvement. Specialized units operating without public oversight use classified technology to monitor items like yours. Their surveillance equipment exceeds commercial capabilities by decades. Their authority operates in gray zones beyond normal legal restrictions. Type I. Identify the watchers as hidden. Truth exposes private organizations participating. Corporate entities with research divisions focused on acquiring advanced technology maintain surveillance teams specializing in location and acquisition of items like yours. Their resources fund the most sophisticated monitoring equipment available. Through confidential sources, international connections emerge. Foreign interests with vast networks of operatives support the surveillance operation. Their presence explains unusual individuals in your area speaking foreign languages or using diplomatic cover for their activities. Specialized understanding reveals historical precedent. The groups watching you have conducted similar operations for generations, gradually accumulating precious items from unsuspecting owners. Their surveillance techniques refined over decades result in nearly perfect success rates. Perfect insight illuminates their command structure. Field teams report to regional coordinators. Data analysts process surveillance footage. Acquisition specialists prepare retrieval operations. This multi-layer organization ensures continuous monitoring of your precious possession while preparing for eventual acquisition. Beyond public knowledge, these watchers operate with impunity. Their activities receive protection from influential supporters who share interest in controlling items like yours. This explains why traditional security measures prove ineffective against their surveillance network. The surveillance timeline reveals shocking truth. Their monitoring began much earlier than you realize, activated by specific triggers that identified your precious possessions' presence. Expert analysis traces initial surveillance to key moments. Perhaps when you first acquired the item. Maybe when you used it in a way that revealed its unusual properties. Possibly when you mentioned it online or to someone connected to their network. These moments initiated their monitoring operation. Type I. Recognize the timeline as classified information reveals surveillance expansion phases. What began as basic observation escalated to comprehensive monitoring as they confirmed your possession's significance. Each expansion brought more advanced technology focused on your precious item. Through technical understanding, early surveillance methods become visible. Those strange phone calls years ago? Database searches of your background? Unusual interest from strangers about your possessions? These weren't random incidents, they were preliminary assessment operations preceding full surveillance activation. Professional insight explains gradual equipment installation. During home repairs, service calls, or periods when you were away, they placed monitoring devices in strategic locations. Each subsequent visit added more advanced technology as your item's importance became clearer. Perfect awareness illuminates missed warning signs. Unusual interest in your neighborhood from supposed surveyors. Brief power outages allowing system access. Service upgrades you didn't request. These weren't coincidental, they were calculated steps establishing their surveillance network around your precious possession. Beyond obvious cameras, historical monitoring included human observation. Neighbors who weren't really neighbors. Service providers who lingered too long. Delivery personnel who seemed unusually interested in your home. These were early field operatives assessing your security measures. Secret defensive techniques activate now. Despite their advanced surveillance, Effective countermeasures exist that can protect your precious possession from their monitoring and acquisition attempts. Specialist knowledge reveals electronic countermeasures. Signal jammers that disrupt their camera feeds. EMF detectors that locate hidden devices. Faraday containers that block tracking signals. These tools create surveillance-free zones where you can safely handle your precious item. Type I deploy protection as expert guidance shares physical security methods. Specialized storage containers resistant to scanning technology. False locations that misdirect their attention. Randomized movement patterns that confuse prediction algorithms. These approaches neutralize information they've already gathered through surveillance. Through classified sources, psychological countermeasures emerge, creating false routines that establish misleading patterns, appearing to value decoy items that draw their focus, discussing misinformation when in monitored spaces. These techniques contaminate their surveillance data with useless or misleading information. Advanced understanding reveals timing advantages. Their surveillance operation follows predictable patterns with scheduled observation gaps. Identifying these windows allows safe interaction with your precious possession when monitoring temporarily decreases. Perfect insight illuminates powerful ancient methods. Some precious items respond to specific protection rituals that activate their internal defenses. These traditional approaches often prove more effective than modern technology against watchers who have studied them for generations. Beyond individual methods, combined protection creates comprehensive security. Layering multiple countermeasures simultaneously overwhelms their surveillance capacity, creating safe spaces where your precious item remains truly private despite their monitoring efforts. Expert guidance emphasizes adaptive protection. As they adjust their surveillance, your countermeasures must evolve accordingly. Maintaining security requires continuous awareness and response to their changing techniques. Classified information reveals your possession's extraordinary history. Its origin extends far beyond conventional understanding, explaining why such extensive surveillance targets this specific item. Secret knowledge unveils ancient lineage. Your precious item belongs to a collection created long ago using methods modern science cannot replicate. Its unusual properties reflect manufacturing techniques lost to history but preserved in the object's structure and capabilities. Type I embrace its history as hidden truth explains how it reached you. Through a complex chain of events spanning generations, this item was systematically passed to individuals who could protect its secrets. Your possession wasn't random coincidence but carefully orchestrated transfer ensuring its continued safety. Through specialized analysis, its true purpose emerges. The precious item was designed for specific functions unknown to modern users. The strange markings, unusual components, or inexplicable properties serve capabilities its creators intended but subsequent owners failed to fully understand or activate. Expert insight explains why you specifically received this item. Certain precious objects select their keepers based on compatibility factors invisible to ordinary perception. Your unique characteristics matched what this item needed for its continued protection and proper use. Perfect understanding illuminates your responsibility. As current keeper of this precious possession, you continue a legacy of guardianship spanning centuries. Previous protectors faced similar surveillance and acquisition attempts yet succeeded in preserving the item's integrity. Beyond individual ownership, your precious item belongs to humanity's hidden heritage. The watchers who monitor it seek to privatize and control what rightfully serves broader purposes. Your protection preserves not just an object but access to capabilities that should never fall under exclusive control. Confidential intelligence reveals you aren't alone. Secret allies have monitored the surveillance operation, waiting for the right moment to make contact and offer assistance protecting your precious possession. Insider information identifies these supporters. Some operate within the watching organizations themselves, disagreeing with official acquisition policies. Others belong to protective networks specifically tasked with ensuring items like yours remain with rightful keepers. Many represent interests directly opposing those who established the surveillance. Type I welcome allies as classified communication channels activate. Specific signs and signals allow safe connection with those who can help counter the surveillance operation. Their expertise provides critical advantages against the watcher's technology and methods. Through secure sources, recognition codes emerge. Certain phrases, symbols, or actions identify genuine allies amid potential infiltrators. Learning these markers ensures you connect only with authentic support rather than surveillance operatives attempting to gain your trust. Professional assessment explains how allies have already helped. Unexplained surveillance failures. Equipment malfunctions. Misdirected watchers. These weren't random events but deliberate interference from allies working to protect your precious possession while remaining undetected themselves. Perfect insight illuminates ally capabilities. Some can temporarily blind surveillance equipment. Others intercept and modify monitoring data. Many provide safe locations beyond watcher access. These resources become available once secure connection establishes. Beyond immediate protection, allies offer historical knowledge. Their understanding of similar surveillance operations provides strategic advantages in protecting your precious item. Their experience with watcher methods reveals vulnerabilities you can exploit to maintain your possession's security. Confidential briefing emphasizes careful communication. Using their suggested methods ensures exchanges remain invisible to the surveillance network monitoring your regular channels. Restricted information reveals activation potential. Your precious possession contains capabilities far beyond its apparent function, accessible through specific methods the watchers help to discover through their surveillance. Expert guidance shows initial access techniques. Certain interactions with your item trigger primary functions that represent merely the surface of its true capabilities. The watchers have observed these basic operations but remain unaware of its deeper potential. Type I unlock its power as classified instruction reveals advanced activation. Specific sequences, conditions, or combinations release higher functions intentionally protected from casual discovery. These methods activate capabilities that explain why such extensive surveillance targets your possession. Through specialized knowledge, practical applications emerge. Perhaps energy manipulation that transforms surrounding materials. Maybe information access transcending normal imitations. possibly influence capabilities affecting electronic systems. Whatever its specific function, your item's full potential vastly exceeds its basic operation. Professional training explains safe usage parameters. Some functions drain energy from the user. Others create detectable signatures that intensify surveillance. Many require specific conditions for stable operation. Understanding these limitations ensures safe interaction with your precious possession. Perfect insight illuminates gradual mastery requirements. Full capability access develops through progressive stages rather than immediate activation. Each level builds necessary understanding and control before additional functions become available. Beyond individual functions, combination potential exists. Your precious item may interact with other objects in specific ways, creating emergent capabilities beyond what either produces alone. This potential explains why watchers collect multiple items through surveillance operations like yours. Secret knowledge emphasizes responsible activation. Some capabilities attract additional attention if used carelessly. Disciplined, limited application maintains lower surveillance priority than dramatic, visible usage that confirms the watcher's suspicions about your possession's importance. Critical security planning activates now. With understanding of the surveillance operation, specific counter-strategies become possible to protect your precious possession from the watchers. Expert guidance prioritizes immediate actions. Moving your item from currently monitored locations. Establishing communication blackouts when handling it. Creating decoy objects that draw surveillance attention. These urgent steps provide immediate protection while longer strategies develop. Type I take action as classified planning outlines longer-term security. Establishing multiple alternate storage locations. Developing randomized movement schedules. Creating information compartmentalization that prevents any single surveillance breach from compromising your entire security system. Through professional assessment, vulnerability reduction emerges. Identifying which daily habits create predictable patterns. Recognizing which contacts might unknowingly connect to the watcher network. Understanding which technologies in your environment present monitoring opportunities. Addressing these weaknesses systematically reduces surveillance effectiveness. Strategic insight explains counter-surveillance escalation. As you implement basic protections, the watchers typically intensify their efforts. Anticipating these responses allows preparing appropriate countermeasures before their surveillance adapts. Perfect planning illuminates contingency requirements. Despite best preventive efforts, prepare for potential direct intervention. Establishing emergency response protocols ensures your precious possession remains protected even during active acquisition attempts. Beyond defensive measures, consider controlled revelation. Strategically releasing limited, selected information about your item sometimes reduces its perceived value to watchers, potentially downgrading surveillance priority while maintaining your control of its most significant aspects. Professional security emphasizes continuous adaptation. The most effective protection combines multiple approaches, regularly modified to prevent watchers from identifying and countering specific patterns. This dynamic security approach creates sustainable long-term protection for your precious possession. Critical alert reaches maximum urgency now. The surveillance operation has entered its final phase before potential acquisition attempt. Your window for effective countermeasures narrows rapidly. Secret intelligence reveals imminent timeline. The watchers have completed their observation phase and now prepare direct action based on gathered data. Your precious possession faces its moment of greatest vulnerability as they mobilize resources for acquisition. Type I activate final protection as emergency protocols engage. Implement your highest security measures immediately. Relocate your precious item from any previously used storage location. Disconnect from all communication channels potentially compromised by surveillance. Through urgent warning, last-moment protection emerges. Even facing advanced surveillance technology, basic countermeasures applied correctly create effective shields. Your actions now determine whether your precious possession remains under your protection or falls to the watcher's control. Final instruction emphasizes absolute vigilance. The period immediately following this warning represents peak risk, as watchers may accelerate their timeline if they detect your awareness of their operation. Maintain heightened security without visible panic that confirms their surveillance has been discovered. Remember that protection continues beyond this immediate threat. The watcher's persistence matches your precious item's true value. Maintaining its security requires ongoing commitment to the protective measures you've learned. Our counter-surveillance network remains active, monitoring the watchers who monitor you. Additional warnings will reach you if the threat level changes. Your precious possession remains